Inside this bread factory, wheat grain becomes flour, dough, golden loaves, sliced bread, and packaged products. The complete process transforms dry wheat grain into soft packaged loaf bread.
The bread process begins with wheat grain, harvested and prepared for delivery.
Covered trucks transport wheat grain to the factory for receiving and testing. At the factory, each wheat batch enters a controlled receiving system.
Weighing helps the factory track how much wheat enters production. A grain sample is taken before the wheat can be unloaded. The lab checks wheat quality before the batch enter the factory.
Approved wheat is unloaded into a receiving pit designed for bulk grain handling.
The wheat flows into the receiving pit and begins its factory journey. Enclosed elevators move the grain upward into the factory storage system. Wheat is stored in silos before cleaning and milling begin. Controlled silo discharge sends wheat into the cleaning section. Before milling, wheat must be cleaned to remove impurities.
Vibrating screens separate wheat from oversized and undersized impurities. The destoner removes heavier stones that could damage milling equipment.
A magnetic separator removes small metal particles before milling.
Airflow removes light dust and husk particles from the wheat stream.
After cleaning, technicians confirm the wheat is ready for conditioning.
Conditioning adds controlled moisture so the wheat can mill properly.
Tempering allows moisture to distribute evenly inside the wheat kernels.
Tempered wheat moves into the first milling stage. Milling gradually breaks wheat kernels and separates flour from bran.
The first roller mill cracks the wheat kernels into coarse particles.
Bran sifters separate fine flour from coarse particles after each milling step.
Bran is separated so fine flour can continue through the milling system.
Reduction rollers grind coarse particles into finer flour.
Repeated sifting improves flour consistency and removes coarse material.
Fine flour is collected through closed transfer systems to control dust and hygiene.
Flour quality is tested before it moves into bread production. Improved flour is stored in silos before dough mixing begins. The factory doses flour accurately for each bread batch. Bread dough depends on precise dosing of flour, water, yeast, salt, and other ingredients.
Measured flour enters the industrial mixer as the first major dough ingredient.
Water and other ingredients are added in controlled amounts to begin dough formation.
The mixer begins combining the ingredients into a rough dough mass.
Mixing develops dough structure so the bread can rise properly. Dough temperature is checked because it affects fermentation and bread texture.
The mixed dough is transferred into a trough for controlled resting. Resting allows the dough to relax before dividing and shaping. Rested dough is fed into the divider for portion control. The divider cuts the dough into equal portions for consistent loaf size.
Check weighing keeps every loaf portion consistent. Rounding creates smooth dough balls and prepares them for shaping.
Intermediate proofing relaxes the dough before final molding. The molder flattens and rolls the dough into a loaf-ready shape. The molder shapes each dough piece into a loaf form.
Clean loaf pans are prepared before molded dough is loaded.
Molded dough pieces are placed into pans for final proofing.
Workers check pan loading before the dough enters final proofing. The loaded pans enter a controlled proofing chamber for the final rise.
Controlled warmth and humidity help the dough rise before baking. After proofing, the dough has risen enough to enter the oven.
The proofed dough enters the tunnel oven for controlled baking.
Inside the oven, heat sets the dough structure and begins forming the crust.
As baking continues, the loaves develop a golden crust and soft interior. The baked loaves exit the oven hot and ready for depanning. The depanner removes hot loaves from their baking pans. The machine gently removes each loaf and sends empty pans back for reuse.
Empty pans return through a separate line for inspection and reuse.
Freshly baked loaves must cool before slicing and packaging.
Cooling stabilizes the crumb so the bread can be sliced cleanly.
After cooling, loaves are inspected for shape, color, and surface quality.
Only cooled and approved loaves move into the slicing line.
The slicer cuts each cooled loaf into even slices.
After slicing, the loaf must stay aligned before entering the bagging machine.
Blank bread bags are opened automatically before sliced loaves enter packaging.
The bagging machine places each sliced loaf into a blank package.
Each bag is closed to keep the sliced bread protected.
Packaged loaves are inspected for closure, shape, and weight. A final safety check helps protect packaged bread before carton packing.
Blank cartons are prepared for grouping packaged loaves. Packaged loaves are grouped into cartons for warehouse handling.
Filled cartons are sealed before palletizing and distribution.
Carton check weighing confirms the correct number of packaged loaves.
Sealed cartons are stacked into stable pallets for warehouse movement.
Stretch wrapping keeps bread cartons stable during warehouse handling.
Finished bread products are stored in organized warehouse zones before distribution. Inventory tracking connects packaged bread back to production batches.
Packaged bread leaves the factory through an organized loading dock. After inspection and packing, bread products are ready for distribution.
Flour handling requires enclosed transfer systems and proper dust control.
Bakery sanitation keeps dough, bread, and packaging areas safe for the next batch. The first major transformation turns cleaned wheat grain into bakery flour.
The second transformation turns flour and ingredients into elastic bread dough.
The dough is divided, rounded, molded, and loaded into pans. Proofing and baking turn-shaped dough into golden loaf bread. Cooling, slicing, and packaging turn baked loaves into finished bread products.
Finished bread is packed, palletized, stored, and shipped from the bakery. Wheat grain is the raw material behind every packaged loaf.
Milling and sifting produce fine flour for bread dough.
Proper mixing creates dough with the strength needed for good bread structure. Final proofing gives the dough its volume before baking. Baking creates the golden crust and soft loaf structure.
Slicing must be even, so each loaf packages neatly.
The packaged loaf is the final product ready for cartons and distribution.
Final product family shows how wheat grain becomes packaged, sliced bread.
Each machine has a clear purpose, from grain cleaning to bread packaging. Food safety depends on clean uniforms, guarded machines, and hygienic handling.
A disciplined bread factory keeps grain, flour, dough, baked bread, and finished packages in the right zones.
The first transformation cleans and mills wheat into bakery flour.
The second transformation combines flour and ingredients into elastic dough. The third transformation divides, rounds, molds, and proofs the dough.
The final transformation bakes, cools, slices, bags, and packs the loaves. Quality control follows the product, from wheat grain to packaged bread.
Texture testing confirms that the sliced bread is soft and consistent.
Slice thickness must stay even for clean packaging and customer use.
Package closure keeps sliced bread protected after it leaves the factory.
The finished packaged loaf is the result of milling, mixing, proofing, baking, slicing, and sealing.
The warehouse shows how wheat grain becomes shelf-ready bread products.
Wheat grain is the foundation of every loaf made in this factory.
Milling turns cleaned wheat into flour that can become bread dough.
Mixing and shaping turn flour into dough pieces ready for proofing.
Baking turns proof dough into golden loaves with soft interiors.
Slicing and bagging turn cooled loaves into finished packaged bread. After warehouse control, packaged bread moves toward stores, restaurants, and homes. This is how wheat grain becomes flour, dough, golden bread, sliced loaves, and packaged products. The key steps are cleaning, milling, mixing, proofing, baking, cooling, slicing, packaging, and shipping. From wheat grain to flour, dough, golden loaves, sliced bread, and packaged products, every stage depends on precise control.
The complete timeline shows the full industrial journey from grain to packaged loaf bread.
Clean wheat protects the mill and improves flour quality. Milling is a gradual process of breaking, grinding, and sifting wheat.
Mixing controls dough strength, moisture, temperature, and final bread texture.
Proofing allows yeast activity to expand the dough before baking.
Baking sets the loaf structure and creates the golden crust. Cooling is necessary before slicing because hot bread is too soft to cut cleanly.
Packaging protects sliced bread and prepares it for cartons and distribution.
After packaging and warehouse control, the bread is ready to leave the factory. This factory shows how one raw grain becomes a complete packaged bread product.
Thank you for watching Mega Processing Tech. Subscribe, like, share, and comment what factory we should explore next.